Today is a good time to talk about one of the great dividing forces regarding financial success, on whether or not you will be very wealthy and rich or you will be poor and a slave to money. The wheels of compounding work in mysterious ways, and I will use a personal example to do some reflection on both inflation, how it affects purchasing power, and loans in general. And I believe that this last part will really give you a lot of value in terms of understanding how money works and using this knowledge in your own advantage. Alright, let's get right into it. In Sweden, I had the ability to take out a student loan of 150,000 Swedish kronor back in the day. Now, I used a lot of this to purchase noodles and rent a 19 square meter apartment in Stockholm. However, I also saved some. And in the beginning of the year, today, I checked out both the loans and the investing account that I put part of the student loan into. And I saw that there was about 130,000 left on the loan, as well as that the investment account had ballooned up to 250,000 kronor. Now, first, when you hear this, you might think, oh, well, that's good. But remember, everything is relative. Let's take a look at purchasing power. In terms of what I could buy for those 150,000 kronor back in the day, let's use cheeseburgers as an example to really drive this point home. In those days, a cheeseburger would cost you 10 Swedish kronor. So this basically means that I could afford to buy 15,000 cheeseburger if I were to spend my entire student loan just buying cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Alright, and today a cheeseburger will cost you 15 Swedish kronor. So that basically means that if I were to take those entire 250,000 kronor and just go and buy cheeseburgers from McDonald's, I could purchase 16,666 cheeseburgers. This is just above par for what I could do in terms of purchasing power back in the day with the entire student loan. So in terms of getting wealthier, in terms of what I actually can consume, not really that much on that little experiment. However, the loan is still there. And what has happened to the loan? Well, I had terrific terms on it. In Sweden, we are lucky to have super low interest rate on the student loans. And the value of that loan has not really increased, and I've been paying it down. The loan is still remaining. However, what can I actually buy for 130,000 today? A lot less than when I studied. I would need a lot more to be able to rent that 19 square meter apartment and buy those ramen noodles. I would need a bigger loan if I were to do the same thing today. So basically what this means is that this cheap capital, this really inexpensive loan, is just being hollowed out over time. It's being worth less and less and less. Maybe in the next 10 years you can buy 1,500 cheeseburgers or something for that same amount if inflation goes really, really bad. But you guys get the point. This type of cheap capital is something that represents a tremendous opportunity for a lot of people. A lot of really wealthy individuals today got there by being able to have access to cheap capital. So this really makes you think, how can you access cheap capital? Well, I'm not living in your country, so I don't know the local laws, etc. But hopefully this gets the gears turning. Maybe one idea could be that if you have access to a super cheap mortgage and you can take out more than what the house costs, rather than going out and buying a new car, a new television and furniture, maybe you can purchase some type of asset that produces cash flow for you. That's a good way to use cheap capital if you can acquire it via a mortgage. Maybe you have some other super interesting idea that you can use in your country. Please let me know in the comments below. It would be a great story to read. Happy to do that. And as always, hope you guys make a ton of money, whatever investments you decide to make. Take care now. Bye bye.